Tales from the Video Store is now on SoundCloud. Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or YouTube. If you want to get more Tales from the Video Store, be sure to visit our Patreon page. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Doug Wall, Garrett Lane, and Lee Bridges. Tales from the Video Store is now. I love it! Oh! I want to see that now.
I do too.
I want to see it right this minute.
I do too.
That's really good. Why don't you just die? Where do you find these trailers?
Well, see, there's this system of computers and servers connected via wires and wireless signal. It's called the Internet, and you can actually find things on it. Oh, wait, shit.
But how do you find this trailer?
You don't actually have that.
That's right. You're right. Spectrum has taken that from me. Taken it from me.
So you're just an Amish guy in a baseball cap.
Might as well be, yeah.
You find this man. You find this man. He took everything from me.
But you holding up a picture of the CEO of Spectrum Cable.
Yes. You find this man. He's taken everything.
No,
how do you find that? Now, I know how we find John Rambo trailers.
I
know how we find the Terminator, but how do we find I Hope You Die?
Okay, on my Facebook page, you go on your Facebook page, you can, when it goes to friends, if you drop it down, you can knock people down to acquaintance and unfollow them. So 90% of the people on mine I have unfollowed. Their stuff does not appear on my page. So it's all like movie websites and stuff.
Right.
So basically, I'm just,
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So you just get all the good stuff. And you don't see the guy that's bitching about Joe Biden or what, I don't even know. Joe Biden touching another kid. You don't get that person complaining.
No,
you only get Letterboxd.
Right. Yes. And also the haters of Letterboxd.
The haters of Letterboxd, which we get all the time.
But
ladies and gentlemen, Lee Bridges, I'm telling you what, he brings us all the content here, all the good stuff.
But
we get it from him
at the Cinepocalypse Film Festival, which is a pretty good sized genre film festival in Chicago. It won Best Picture there, and I guess that's probably what got the trailer.
That's encouraging, though.
Yeah, they got the.
It looks
trailer.
Fantastic.
It does.
Yeah, first time director, But did you notice on the movie trailer it said approved by the Secretary of Culture of something of Russia? Like, that's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that the government has to approve. Yeah.
That's how they still do it.
And they're drilling holes into bones and punching each other and killing.
Well, it's a simple movie that this girl asks her boyfriend to go kill her dad for whatever reason, and her dad turns out to be this 250-pound, very hard to kill cop. Yeah. So the most of the movie, from what I can tell from the trailer and what I've read, is just a fight between these two guys in this small apartment in Moscow, where basically they're just destroying this apartment and each other. And I think there's like flashbacks that kind of explain what's going on.
Right.
But I mean, it looks extremely. I've watched the trailer like 5 times.
Yeah, I watched it at work today.
Yeah. But
I want to see it.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
What did it? It's in April. We have to wait all the way.
I think that was in Russia. Is when it was, in April.
So at any time we could probably see that.
Hopefully, sometime before the end of the year, surely.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's not like back in the day when you would see find out about foreign. You had to wait like 2 years for it to come out on DVD in America.
So, did anybody watch any movies?
Yes, I did.
Well, let me start.
Go ahead.
Come on, here we go.
I'll start. I watched Masters of the Universe.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay.
Why do I like that movie?
Well, it's incredibly entertaining.
It is incredibly.
That's Frank Langella's favorite role.
Oh, I can imagine.
Like
he was Skeletor.
He's like, because what was that movie like 10 years ago where he played Nixon, where he got nominated for an Oscar?
Oh yeah,
they were asking him about that, and they said, "Is this your favorite role you've ever played?" He's like, "No, it's Skeletor," and they thought he was joking. He's like, He is completely serious. Like he was like, he was upset that there wasn't a 2. You know, and it
is what it is.
It's a movie based on a toy line.
Yes, and Dolph Lundgren almost ruined it.
And it's his second movie, so
yeah.
And he has 4 lines of dialogue in Rocky 4.
Yeah.
So it's not like but it's a cool looking movie.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I think because I was such a big Masters of the Universe, I had every one of the action figures.
Yeah,
I was a huge fan. So, and it was 80s. The Bill Conti had the score.
Oh, yeah.
It was fantastic. I don't know why. Casey Wheelock said something about B movies that are that you really like that you'd almost have a hard time in a room going, okay, I really like this movie.
Right.
This is one of those movies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I completely understand that. Because it's like when we talked about Nemesis.
Yes.
It's not good, but it's great. That's how I put it.
Yeah.
Like on paper, it's not good. But there's just something about it, And, I've actually, there's a documentary about Canon Films. What's it called? I think it's called Electric Boogaloo, the study of Canon Films.
Okay.
And it starts out talking about how they were like, it's got to be PG. It's got to be for the kids. And as the movie got more and more over budget, the people who are making the movie were like, listen, you can have him murder people on screen. It doesn't matter. Just get the movie done. Because something I didn't notice they pointed out was there are no extras once they get to Earth. Like in the final battle scene, there's no one looking out the window, or there's just no one because they couldn't afford them.
I haven't seen it in so long I can't.
Yeah, it's got some cool looking stuff in it.
I remember Skeletor more than anything about that movie and how awesome he was.
Yeah,
it's got it feels like Star Wars.
Oh no, it's very
It feels like Star Wars, but it just feels like the 80s. It feels like my childhood. That's what it was. It feels like my childhood.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's like 1987.
Courtney
in
Cox
a bottle
is in it.
Yeah,
crazy.
Is. Yeah. Now, had they had more money, they probably would not have gone to Earth because that really doesn't. That kind of stops the movie.
Yeah. It really does stop the movie.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I'd actually probably watch it again if I didn't have to watch more different movies for more different podcasts. So there you go. So He-Man, or Masters of the Universe. I want to keep saying He-Man, but it's Masters
just say He-Man.
Yeah.
It's fine. We know what you mean.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I have the power! I also watched the new Spider-Man last night, 10 o'clock.
How was that?
At the Golden Ticket. Golden Ticket Cinemas
in Lenore.
In Lenore, the best seating ever, the best theater in the foothills.
Yeah.
Yes, we watched Spider-Man, and I loved it.
Nice.
Doug said something that kind of before we went on air. He said something. He said, I'm kind of over it, and I think he's right. I think I feel the same way. I'm kind of over it. It's the same.
It's just fatigue.
It's just because they all have the same look and feel now.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. And I just
that's something can you hum the theme to any Marvel movie?
No.
They don't look. It's like they're at least you can say the DC movies are stylish looking.
Right.
They're not really that cool, with the exception of maybe like Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Yeah,
those look cool, but they take place. But all the ones that are set on Earth just look the same. Mm-hmm. And I think that's intentional, just bring in as many people as possible. And I agree. I'm burnt
very
out. Very stock. Yeah. There's if you take a frame from Captain America, Winter Soldier, and a frame from the new Spider-Man movie, the cinematography probably looks identical.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm always it's almost like superhero burnout, dude.
Well, I was talking to Garrick about the different look between Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies, and Iron Man.
Yeah,
how different they were back then. That look of Sam Raimi's is over,
right?
And it's everybody adapted to this particular style, and that's what it's all about.
And if you notice, in the original, it was you had to get Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Even in the 90s, you had to get, late 90s, you had to get Sam Raimi. You had to get somebody with a strong visual sense.
Right.
And now it's I like the guy who directs the Spider-Man movies, but his if you go back and watch his independent movies, they all just look, they're all brightly lit.
It's like Garrick walks into Disney and they're like, "Hi, Mr. Lane, thank you for being here. Before the meeting, here's the protocol book.
Yep.
Thank you for coming on board."
And we've talked about this before, but it's
thank you for coming on board to shoot the fourth Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Here's the protocol book. It's like the playbook. You need to read this because everything has to be just like this. Finish this, and then we will get with you.
Yeah.
And that's how it is.
Oh yeah.
And everything in there it's shot for shit. This is how it's going to look. Yeah. This is how it's going to be. And that's all there is to it. This is the New England Patriot playbook. This is how you win Super Bowls. You must read this.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally. I mean, that's it. And that's how.
It's like they hand you some Old Testament's all in John Favreau's handwriting.
Yeah. However, it does
pretty
work.
much. I mean, he cracked the code.
Yeah. He did.
Because he made something that was so widely adored.
Yeah.
Where previous movies were kind of more sectional, like you either really loved it or you were like, it's whatever. And
that's the thing, but 10 years ago, Iron Man was a completely different type of superhero movie.
Yeah.
It was like, and now they're all like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's weird.
It is weird. But I mean, I'm actually going to see the new Spider-Man movie. I think it looks cool. Looks cool. I never thought I'd see a live-action Mysterio, the guy with a giant fishbowl on his head.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm going to check it out. But I mean, I'm not dying to see it, especially after the Avengers.
And he was great, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Jake Gyllenhaal's the man.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And I don't know if you've seen his interviews in it, but he's
he loves the suit.
He loves talking about it. Like I remember somebody said something vaguely about some rapper. And he went into this like diatribe about how that guy was awesome. And you can tell he's just like, listen, I got paid millions of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the guy. I've always heard.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. But you see anything else?
I did. I saw Robo Vampire.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Robo Vampire
from the 1980s.
Right.
It was a. It was a
little Godfrey Ho.
Yeah, little Godfrey Ho doing RoboCop. Basically, a cop dies and they bring him back as an android.
Right, but with Taoist magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
There are three of them.
Yes, I know. Yeah. There are three of them.
Because Godfrey Ho, he didn't know the meaning of the word quit.
Yeah.
He was, I've mentioned, there are directors who are quantity over quality. He was quantity over everything.
Yeah.
Like the amount of movies he have that have the word ninja in the title is just astronomical. And sometimes when he'd be in a movie, there'd be dudes just walking in the background had a headband that said ninja and it had nothing to do with the movie. Yeah. I think it's like 100. It's over 100 movies he directed.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like he was. Yeah.
And he probably made less than what's his name, James Gunn made for the one Guardians of the Galaxy that he directed, or the two.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
It was good. It was what it was, But I enjoy those. Like I enjoy the B grade movies. I enjoy the copycats sometimes when they're done in a distasteful manner. You know what I mean?
Right.
When they're done to the ridiculousness.
Oh yeah.
But that's what I saw. Robo Vampire. I saw Spider-Man, and I saw I Have the Power.
What about you, Doug?
Are you done?
Cool. Yeah.
So I watched a couple movies from around a little bit later time period. The first one I watched the original Tremors from 1990.
Nice.
Ron Underwood, who also directed City Slickers.
Yep.
And was actually kind of notoriously, and not in a good way, associated with, and was the director of Adventures of Pluto Nash, which basically torpedoed his whole career.
Yeah.
But who would have known, a movie at that time with
Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy would be so terrible.
Yeah.
And I know he won the 2002 Razzie Award for Worst Director, and after that I tried to look him up and couldn't find much.
I think he's probably done some TV and stuff.
Maybe.
But, I mean,
it wasn't much.
Yeah.
This is it's not a great movie.
No, I disagree with that completely.
I don't think it's a great movie, but what it does, last week's Feast, and this movie are similar in that they try and use this same old reliable premise of a group of strangers trapped in a place with some monsters around. This one, though, is more original. It's funner and was entirely more popular. I mean, this spawned like 6 sequels and a TV show, and people are still... I saw Michael Gross was saying they're going to make a new one like later this year.
Yeah.
It is a B-grade movie, but it's a higher quality B-grade.
It's a B plus.
It's a B plus. Yeah, I like that. Fred Ward's great in it. Kevin Bacon's great in it. It was Reba McEntire's very first role.
I think her only theatrical role.
Well, I wanted to look that up, but I for some reason didn't. Victor Wong is in it for a brief spell, and it's about these giant graboids, I guess, that you know they're out in the desert and they're trapped in this kind of diner, and they're just out raising hell, and these guys are trying to figure out how to get out of there. Yeah. PG-13. I watched it with my 11-year-old. Watched it with Oliver. He thoroughly enjoyed it. It's got a little bit of language.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a 1990 PG-13.
Yeah, it's a little languagey, more than I kind of anticipated going in. But the violence is like there are some kind of gory parts, but it's fun. It's not. Yeah. It's nothing where you're like, ugh. It's more just like, oh my god, look at that. Like that's silly. Yeah. You know, it's a good early teen or around his age, like introduction to like monster movies, if you will. So, you know, for that, I say it's a definite rent. If you've never seen it, rent it just to see everybody.
And see, when you said it wasn't like I can't imagine it being better. Like really, like the dialogue, the humor, the music. I mean, like everything's just right.
Yeah.
You know, like that type of movie, I cannot imagine that being done.
It doesn't drag.
No, it doesn't drag at all. You know, because I watched it multiple times. Like when I was 10, it was my favorite movie.
See, I don't think I've seen it since maybe 91. Right. You know, and I remember not necessarily loving it back then. So I kind of was like, well, I think Oliver will like it, so we'll see. But I actually enjoyed it. Right. You know, and is it a rent? Yes, for sure. If you've never seen this, rent it. The other movie I watched from 1987, I watched Raising Arizona. Joel Cohen directed, and him and his brother Ethan wrote.
I'm going to take them their Huggies.
I'll be taking these Huggies and whatever cash you got. Nick Cage, Holly Hunter, John Goodman, Frances McDormand. There's some other people in there who were great. It's a cool fucking movie, man. And at the time it came out in 1987, I had never seen anything like this. Yeah. Not even close to anything like this. No. But unfortunately, since then, I have seen them make this same stylized movie multiple times, and I'm not shitting on everything that they've done. Right. But it seems like I've just seen this kind of too sweet, too similar movie done by these same guys after it. So those movies don't hold the same spot in my heart that this one does because this was the original. Yeah. If you don't know anything about this movie, it's about this guy, H.I. He's in prison and for I think he's stuck up like a 7-Eleven or something, and he meets Ed, played by Holly Hunter, who was a police officer at that time, and instantly falls in love with her. And he gets out of prison, and they kind of get together and want to start a family. They find out that she can't have children, and they see on the news that there's a family that just had like septuplets. Yeah. So they decide that they're going to go get one, and they do. And it's a really sweet movie. You know, it's not there's nothing like, even the scenes where they try and show like this villain. Yeah. Tex, what's his last name?
Tex.
It's not
Cobb.
Cobb. Tex Cobb plays this kind of bounty hunter who H.I. dreams about coming for this baby. But even those scenes are silly, and lighthearted and kind of funny.
The whole movie's silly, but it's
like a cartoon. It's like a cartoon, really. More than it is anything else. It's like a cartoon. There's a scene where H.I. goes and steals the diapers. The line that Garrick and I were both talking about earlier. That whole chase scene, I've seen that so many times after by people who have ripped it off. You know, I mean, just the way that it's shot, the way that they move from, you know, the street through a house, you know, to a car, to a back alleyway, you know, this camera following around however it does. It's just a cool-ass scene. The other scene that I guess gets brought up the most with this movie is the bank robbing scene, which I actually read, and I didn't write down the name of the magazine. There was I want to say it was an Icelandic or a Swedish magazine, they had a thing about greatest bank robbing scenes in cinematic history. This was their number 2.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of interesting. The music in it is perfect.
Yeah.
Like it generally is in all the Coen Brothers movies. But like I said before, it's also why I have a problem with some of their movies, and I don't love some of their newer things.
Well, their comedies are just, I know what you're saying. It's the same movie.
It's the same fucking movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a cool-ass movie. If you've never seen it.
Everything in it is funny to me.
Yeah.
Like when they rob the gas station at the beginning, when they're going, John Gomes going to rob the bank, and he grabs the balloons, and he says, "Do these blow up in funny colors?" And the way the guy goes, "Not unless round is funny."
Yeah.
And there's some of those things like, that's not funny, but the way... I've always wondered how they get people to talk.
Their dialogue.
Like in a Coen Brothers movie. Because like I've seen others in other movies where they don't talk like that. Yeah. But they have this way of speaking. It's kind of like David Mamet. Like people in David Mamet only talk like they're in a David Mamet movie.
Right.
But then you see Joe Montana in another movie, he just talks like a normal person.
Yeah.
And it's got to be like they just have to say, no, say it like this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But cool fucking movie, man.
Yeah.
You know, if you've never seen it, highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Whether you've seen...
One of the best comedies of all time.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's hands down.
It's great, and it's what opened the doors for the Coen Brothers to do everything they've done since, really.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And I watched, the only other thing I watched was Stranger Things Season 3. I had Oliver, and he woke me up at 5 a.m. to start watching the 8-episode season, and so we did. And if you're a fan of the show, you'll like it.
Yeah.
If you're not, then you probably won't.
Right.
It's not, very far off from anything that they've done so far. It's fine.
I respect the dedication to waking you up. It's crack of dawn to watch it. Let's go.
5 a.m.
Well, I mean, I opened my eyes and he was like, "Hello, Daddy," and I was like, "Oh God!" He's like 2 inches from my face. He's like, "It's time." I'm like, "All right, let me get some pants on. Like, let me get downstairs. Like, turn the TV on."
You guys seriously watched that whole thing through?
Yeah.
In a day.
We watched like the first 2 episodes, and I was like, all right, break. We're going to go eat breakfast. We went and ate breakfast, came back, watched an episode, break, go outside for an hour, come back in, watch another episode, eat lunch, 2 more episodes, afternoon break, 2 more episodes. That's it. It's 8 episodes. So I mean, we were done by like 6:30 that night, I think, or something.
That's still impressive.
I mean, look, 8 hours.
It's going to take me 2 months to watch it.
I mean, it's a lot, but just and seeing how much he enjoyed it, and that's what made it.
My kids all stayed up all night, and just did it.
Yeah.
So they did. Well, they didn't realize the West Coast. They were talking about the West Coast, so it didn't start till 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So then the next night they started it at 6 and went all the way through.
Yeah. And like I say, if you're a fan of the show, you will enjoy it. If you're not,
then you won't watch it.
Then you're not going
to watch it.
Yeah, you're probably not going to watch it anyway.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
So there you go. Stranger Things 3.
Nice.
I bet Lee didn't watch any movies.
I watched 2.
I bet he watched a little something.
Oh, I was kidding.
I watched one from 2006 I'd never seen, directed by one of the co-directors of the original Blair Witch Project, Eduardo Sanchez.
What? They actually made a movie after Blair Witch?
Well, he did. He didn't direct it with the other guy. It's called Altered, and it's like a reverse alien abduction movie. These guys abduct this alien. So these guys, group of friends, I think it's in Louisiana, like 15, when they were like 18, they all got abducted by aliens. One of them died, they all, 4 of them came back, and then 2 were left, and one of the 2 that was left died, and the third one came back, and just everybody in town thinks they're nuts. They think they killed the other guy. So basically, the 4 that came back early have spent the last 15 years trying to catch one of these aliens. And they always come down to this one place on this farm in Louisiana. And they do. They catch one. And they bring it to the guy, the other survivor's house. And he's sort of like a prepper now. Like he's just, his house
for sure.
And basically they've got it chained up in his garage. And the whole movie, 90% of the movie takes place in the garage. and it's like a reverse Tremors. Everything about it is great, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like the act of the set is great. All the James Gammon, the guy who plays the old grouchy team manager at Major League, he's the sheriff who shows up halfway through the movie. Like the cast is great. It's really good, but just it didn't work for me. And it's not bad. Like if it's on streaming, give it a shot.
Sure.
But don't pay to see it.
What's the name of it?
Altered. And it was okay, but I mean, it was like
there's just something missing.
But it just, all the individual parts I really liked. Like the creature looks great. You know, like one guy gets sick from touching it. Like he gets bit by it and gets his virus. He starts rotting basically. And like I like all the individual parts, but put it together, the cake just didn't bake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hate it when that happens.
But I mean, not terrible. But I won't watch it again.
Yeah, I got you.
And the only thing of that I watched was from 1989. I watched Deep Star 6.
Nice.
Because it's on Prime.
Is it?
Yes.
How the hell have I missed it? God almighty, I've been scouring that son of a bitch. How have I not seen Deep Six?
I think they just put it on the other day.
Okay.
Like last Saturday. So I think you were watching Stranger Things.
I was probably in Stranger Things, for sure.
And I think it was late 80s, early 90s, there was the Abyss, Deep Star 6, Leviathan.
Yeah.
And a couple other like aquatic sci-fi horror movies.
That were awesome. Man, I loved all of them, dude.
And Deep Star 6 is probably the cheapest, but I like it. Like, I really like it. Mm-hmm. Directed by Sean Cunningham. I directed the first Friday the 13th. And it has the worst, and by worst, I mean worst person. Like, not worst written character.
Right.
He has the worst person!
Like, Miguel Ferrer's character, whose name is Snyder, makes every wrong decision in the movie. Like, when the guy goes down in the big, like, almost robotic scuba suit, and they bring him back up on the winch, the big monster comes up and just bites him in half. Miguel Ferrer runs up the stairs and locks everybody inside the room with the monster. And they're handing out guns and stuff, and they give one to him, and he just looks at it like he's from another planet. So they give him this spear that has compressed air in it that's for killing sharks. And when they go back in to kill the monster, he accidentally stabs the scientist and his chest explodes. Yeah. And then he runs away again. And like everything he does is just terrible. Yeah. Like you hate him so much.
You do.
But he's really good in the movie, you know. But the creatures look great. All the underwater stuff's on models. Like, you know.
What was the year?
89.
89.
And just like real good cast.
I saw that at the Crown. I remember.
Yep. And you know, simple monster movie.
Yeah.
You know,
but well done.
Well done. Yeah. Probably Leviathan had the coolest looking monster out of all those.
For sure.
Where like the people kind of melded together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably like Deep Star 6 the best just because it's the most. I don't know. It's just like it's not. You know, it's like 85 minutes. It's like the sleekest.
In and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
And I don't say it's the best made, but it's.
Did the Abyss start that craze?
No, the Abyss was 90.
Yeah,
So,
I think Leviathan was.
yeah, I think Leviathan was. I think Leviathan might have been 88.
But yeah, there was a little run on those.
Yeah. And I always assume that's just like there's a script, like Leviathan script written like 85. Somebody hears about it and they're like, make me one of those.
Yeah.
And it's,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because like Dante's Peak and Volcano just didn't come out within a month of each other.
Right.
Like, that just doesn't happen.
Right.
No, yeah, that's exactly how it's kind of like the Golden Child and Little
Big Trouble.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh yeah.
Well, and also like, oh man, what was it?
My dear brother Doomsday.
No. All the asteroid movies, they were like
Deep Impact and
Deep Space Nine,
and
Deep 6-9.
Yeah. And there was another one where they like went to the core of the Earth, like that all came out right around that same time. It's like those apocalyptic movies.
Yeah.
Same kind of deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened.
It's because one script
random.
buys.
Yep.
And Warner Brothers
Maybe
hears that they made Deep 6-9, or hey, this, you know, over at MGM Leviathan, they're doing this Leviathan. We need something to you know, compete against that. So let's do something here. And then they make Deep 6-9, and then somebody finds James Cameron, and James Cameron says, "I've got the bomb right here, and it's going to have Ed Harris in it, and it's going to be the coolest movie ever."
Oh yeah. But it just took a year longer to get made. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Leviathan's probably the scariest. Like, that monster freaks me out.
Yeah.
Like an external, like it's like a virus. Like when External holds up his hand, it has a mouth in the center. Like that freaked me out as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
I liked them all.
I did too. Yeah.
Well, from the deep water, from the deep woods of Blair Witch Project to the deep water of the sea, to the burrows of snakes, comes our movie of the week. Take it away. Hey.
All right. Thank you. This is a movie from 1973, and it starred. Actually, you know, it's a very weird movie.
It's a TV movie,
and TV movie I think released to drive-ins after that. Like, you know, which they would do. Like when we talk about Duel, you know, a lot of times with these TV movies, they would shoot like a little bit more footage and, you know, basically just to make more money off of it. It'd be like the second feature at a drive-in. And the movie that it was produced by Brown and the guys who produced Jaws, David Brown and
Zanuck.
It was the movie they produced right before Jaws, which is kind of weird. And it's called, as Garrick said earlier, it's called Ssssssssssshh. It's basically it's a hiss sound is the title, and it's, you know, it's a movie about a guy turning another guy into a snake. You know, that's all there is to it. It's a guy turning the face from the A-Team into a King Cobra.
I was getting ready to say, it's not just any guy, it's Dirk Benedict.
Exactly.
It's fucking face.
Face from the A-Team. And thank God that he did face from the A-Team after...
Well, if you were wondering what he was doing prior to the A-Team, now you know.
now you know. Thank God he got saved, because otherwise he would have probably died in obscurity if this would have been the last movie he did.
And the Mad Scientist is played by the great Strother Martin, great character actor, who's probably what got the movie made. Like, he was as famous as a character actor could be then. And Cool Hand Luke and the Wild Bunch and, you know.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Dr. Stoner.
Dr. Stoner, who is based on a real guy. There was this guy, I cannot remember his name, I read about, like, when we picked this movie, this little factoid popped up on Facebook. It was this guy, he was the first snake farm guy. And he's kind of a reverse Dr. Stoner, except the real guy was awesome. He would like, started, like, you know, injecting small amounts of venom into his system and built it up over time. And he eventually, like, he basically helped create anti-venom.
Right.
And one of the things he helped create was his blood. Like, he could basically, like, if you got bit by a certain snake and he had an immunity to it, he could give you a blood transfusion. And he just died like 2 years ago. He died at the age of 101.
Of a snake bite?
No, just died of old age. No. He was bitten by, like...
Most certainly not.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, but he was like the character Strother Martin...
Lyme's disease.
Yeah, that's it. Got bit by a tick. No. But now, just out of old age. And but Strother Martin plays the opposite of that character.
Yes.
I guess he has good intentions. Here's the thing I don't understand about the movie. What is the point of turning him into the snake? Is it to, like, save people from, like, an ecological disaster?
That's kind of what he alludes to.
But he's not like a snake person. He's just turning him into a regular snake.
Well, it's not like snakes are going to survive any better in, like...
a nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Anything like that.
Or, like, a
Ice Age or...
Anything that you come up with, they're going down, too.
Right.
So...
Even if it was just, like, he just turned it into just to see if he could, that would make more sense.
It would have been cooler.
It would have been cooler. But, like, he thinks he's going to win the Nobel Prize or something.
He's doing humanity a favor.
Right. And by turning face into a King Cobra. And the scariest thing about the movie is the actual footage of King Cobras.
Yes.
Because those things are fucking massive.
That's what I was going to say. You know, I wasn't a big fan of this movie for obvious reasons. I know it's a TV movie, but like you said, there's really no point. Like, there was no reason why he was doing what he's doing. There was a lot of holes. There's a lot of this and this and this in this movie. A lot of it doesn't make sense, including the end with the ferret. However, the fact that none of those snakes were fake.
Right, oh yeah.
They used all real snakes.
I think I read they had like 15 King Cobras that they brought in from Thailand.
And they cut around it. They found ways to do it. They had they had to detect the camera. The way they did the snake footage was phenomenal. And it's the only thing that saves the movie.
The thing I think that the problem with this movie is I think it was dated in 1973. Because to me, this is a pre-9/11 Dead horror movie. Like, if this come out in 1958, people would have loved it.
Right.
You know, but it's too old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Even for 1973.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, this is a pre-9/11 Dead, pre-Rosemary's Baby movie. Mm-hmm. And just, it's like you said, did your son watch this?
Yes.
What did he think of it?
He thought it was cool.
Yeah, see, I think...
Until the end, and then he was like, well, that was weird.
Yeah, exactly. The end doesn't make any sense. But, like, we were talking about Tremors, it's almost like a good entryway.
Well, and what he really liked about it, and I identified the same kind of deal, is in the middle of it, when they get into the actual science of it, and they're talking facts about these snakes, that's all real. You know, they surround this ridiculous premise with a lot of facts about these snakes. Yeah, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it's almost like a movie we would watch in school. That with the explanations and reasons and reasonings why for snake, you know,
it wouldn't have surprised me if like some of it had been cut, you know, a middle part where they're doing these science talks, and that would have been something that would have been shown at school. Man, I liked it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't love it. Yeah, I like old movies like that.
I do too.
And I've never seen anything like it. You know,
written by special effects artists, obviously, because obviously he just wanted to do the Snake Man makeup,
and it looked for the time. I thought it looked great. Yeah. It's really just for like, you know, I was telling Garrett before the show. I said, you know, this movie is almost for like, I'm certain that there's like a cult of people out there, snake lovers.
Oh yeah,
who obsess about wanting to be a snake. And I bet that this is probably their favorite fucking movie.
There absolutely is. Yep. In fact, they're called otherkin. They're people who identify as animals. Yeah. And they are 100% real. Like, you know, some people, like, I'm actually a tiger deep down inside.
Oh,
yeah. And it's just, so I'm sure this is, like, there's probably a group of people who get together and watch this movie. And I like it too. It's just, like I said, it's a quaint movie. It's not going to scare anybody unless you're just freaked out by some people cannot look at snakes.
The only person I could think of that would hate this movie more than Garrick Lane was Indiana Jones.
Right, that's true.
I didn't hate the movie. I just didn't see the point of it. Like you said, there's
the third act falls apart.
Yes, there's no reason why they never established why he's doing what he's doing. Besides, he's some crazy scientist, and the end just ruined it for me. What was that? Like, why? Like,
but I think it's kind of because, you know, the mongoose. They set up like have the cobras, and mongoose they're not immune to snake venom.
No, but they will fucking
kill a cobra. Yeah, like in India, they'll throw a freaking mongoose on a cobra, and it will eat it. Yeah, and also the where you see the actual mongoose attacking the actual cobra at the end, that would 100% be illegal now.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
Like, they were like, "You gonna do what now?"
It's just one of those where it just kind of stops. It's like, you know,
it has like a
freeze frames on her screaming. Right. You don't really know.
Which, if he had turned into a cobra man, like with arms, but you know, with like a snake body,
it just would have been.
That would have been cool. Yeah, because they're like, "Oh my god!" I think the Snake Man at the freak show is the coolest looking thing. Yeah. Like, that's what I thought we were getting at the end of the movie. But I was like, because when he kept shrinking, I was like, okay, he's getting like a snake head. I was like, okay.
I didn't think he was going to turn into an actual snake.
Then he turned into an actual, and it just, that kind of, it could have went from an okay movie to a really good movie at the end. Like, at the end, could have saved it had it been.
Yeah. It would have been more Snake Man than actual just snake. I agree.
And but those
he would have picked up the girl in his arms and walked into a cave somewhere. You know, you got that. It would have been different.
Yeah, it's you know, hey, if it's ever seen on Prime and you like old monster movies, I say watch it.
Yeah, if you've never seen this,
watch it.
It's you're not going to walk away from this upset. I don't think.
Watch it for the snake footage alone. Not one fake snake in the whole movie. That to me alone is enough to tell you, for me to tell you to go watch it. Well, despite the story, despite the problems I have with it, I still think that.
Yeah, because you know, King Cobras aren't cobras.
That one dude, when he's out there, when they do the one demonstration and the King Cobra's attacking, and you can hear him hissing and groaning, like that's some maddening stuff, man.
Like I wasn't sure about the grunting because there's a lot of snake grunting in this movie. I wasn't sure if that was that was an effect or
not. I don't know.
I want to hope that I never know.
Yeah, I don't never know. But I know something I found out later is King Cobras eat regular sized cobras.
Yeah,
like they're actually a completely different like species. They just look like cobras. They're
badass.
And we see how big it is. You know, those things. Yeah, I would shit my drawers so fast.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like I say, I mean, if you like
old monster movies,
give this a day.
Give it a day court. Yeah, I bought it at Big Lots. It was 3 movies on one disc for like $1.50. I do not feel cheated at all.
Yeah, it's it might not be enough for you to like the movie, you know, even if you're a fan of like old monster movies.
Right.
But I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
It's original.
You'll appreciate it.
Exactly, and that's why I would say definitely rent it.
I would say rent it too.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's almost like a stepping stone between old and new monster movies.
Yeah.
Because they were trying something different. It just, at the end, didn't necessarily work.
Well, it's one of those that we were talking about movies that should or shouldn't be remade.
Yes.
This was one that I immediately came to mind at the end, and I thought, man, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm actually really surprised that somebody hasn't kind of jumped on this.
Exactly, yeah. This could be a cool movie.
Yeah.
As far as remakes go.
Sure.
Yeah, why remake, The Omen again?
Right,
Remake this.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because, it's not a known product, so to speak, but it has probably a little bit of a following.
Oh, yeah.
And it serves a purpose. It has a niche.
Oh,
so, yeah. Anybody out there who looking for something to remake.
There you go.
Might be something you should look into. Or, as it was known in Europe and Japan, Snake.
Ah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Got any news?
I do have some news. Well, no, it's more a gripe than news.
Oh, good. I like this.
Is what I like.
Okay, and this kind of ties into what we're talking about. I am very excited to see the new movie Crawl.
You listen, mother.
The alligator movie that's coming out this Friday. And it has been advertised as being, we talked about this a couple months ago,
this is more reptiles?
The 4KX.
More reptiles?
Screening.
Right.
Yeah, the alligator movie.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw it on a couple movie websites. They're going to put it out in 4KX with the rumbling seats and the mist and the smells. Yeah. Now, see, I think this would be the movie to see it in. I wouldn't want to see a Fast and Furious movie in 4KX, but I would watch this in 4KX. And I was planning on it. I said, I'm going to go and I'm going to pay the extra money just to... Because it's almost like a William Castle movie, from the 50s, like, The Tingler or something.
Yeah.
Not playing in 4KX, as far as I can tell.
Really?
Yeah. I literally searched... At first, I searched Charlotte. I searched Greenville, South Carolina. And then I said, well, let me go a little bit further than that. Let me Huntersville. Asheville. Nothing. Finally, I just put in New York in the search bar. Nothing. L.A., nothing. So I guess they just ended up... They're just going to show Spider-Man. And the next one coming out that's going to show is The Lion King. Because, people are going to pay $23 a pop to take their kids to see The Lion King and get sprayed in the face with water and have their kids leave.
Pointless.
Yeah,
that makes no sense.
And, people talk people talk about like people don't go to movies anymore. People don't do this. Well, if something like Crawl, which you could make like something like an event out of, I don't see why they don't do stuff like that.
Oh,
because literally nobody's going to pay to see. Well, not nobody, but the amount of money they're going to spend to put The Lion King in the 4KX theaters. It's just like, people are going to go see that anyway.
But Crawl...
What are you going to do, smell the elk?
They're going to come out of it and be like, yeah, okay, that was something, but this could have actually been...
Right, yeah. Like you smelled hyena shit halfway through the...
Hey, good job, yeah.
Fantastic. I don't know. So, maybe they just haven't... I don't know, but it's 2 days before release. You'd think they would... So...
That's bullshit.
It is bullshit. Yeah.
That makes no sense because that's almost like a movie.
These are the kinds of movies that I have in my mind when I was researching that and thinking about it.
Yeah.
Right.
For that.
Talk about dropping the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting closer to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and there's talks of Quentin Tarantino of this actually being his last movie.
And if he wants to retire.
I like the fact that he might be doing drama. He might be doing some sort of play. Said he had other stuff to do,
or like TV.
Yeah. Or like we're talking about a few of the Django versus Zora, the Django Meet Zora movie, which he might just produce.
Oh, I read some things I was telling Garrick before the show. Yeah. It was like 10 ideas.
Yeah.
For his final movie, and some of them were really cool.
Yeah.
Some of them not so cool.
Right.
I don't want to revisit like one of the ideas was, and this is something that I think he had written.
Yeah.
Was about an all African American battalion or a sect in World War II.
Right.
That for some reason gets kicked out of their squad and is trying to get from like Germany to Switzerland.
Right.
And they meet up with the Inglourious Bastards and then they fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Like, would it be cool? Maybe.
I think he like the Vega Brothers movie. Like he talked about that after Pulp Fiction. He was never going to make that
movie. You can't come back to it now that it's 25 years
and
too late.
I think a lot of those are just ideas he has that he talks. Right. He more wants people to fantasize about them. Right. I don't think he was ever going to make either one of those movies.
One of the ideas that I told to Garrett that I would like to see above anything else, I think, would be like a 1930s gangster movie.
Right.
Something like that with his dialogue and style, I think would be fucking cool as shit.
I agree with that.
I don't want to, I hope, not another Western.
Yeah.
I know he loves them, and I do too, but
right.
You did two great ones, man.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree. I watched Hateful Eight like 2 weeks ago.
And it's still,
yeah.
Have you watched the one that's on Netflix that's in, No,
I haven't watched it.
The extended that's, cut up? I haven't either. I really want to get to that.
Maybe he should write the other studios getting together and assassinating Disney studio for destroying the release weekends.
Yeah.
There was a news article about a unanimous studio head that said that all the other studios now have gotten to the point where they would be
anonymous.
They would anonymous. What did I say?
Unanimous.
I'm sorry. Anonymous. Anonymous studio head said we'd be crazy to put a movie up against them. Right. And now they're getting every date.
Yeah.
Like they've,
like the 4KX thing.
Toy Story. They got Toy Story that opened 2 weeks ago. Then Spider-Man. Yep. Then The Lion King on July 19th. And what's that?
And Dumbo before
and the Avengers.
And the Avengers before that.
Yeah. So they have literally taken...
It makes me not want to go to the movie theater.
It really... You're right. And you're right. And that's what they were saying, is the studio said they're getting all the dates.
I think AMC, I read they're going to start making small movie theaters just for small movies. Yeah, I think they're kind of like boutique movie theaters. Because they're basically... AMC has noticed that there's a lot of people who just aren't going to the movies, so they're going to try and cater a different type of movie theater.
The Carolina Theater in Hickory would be perfect for that.
Oh, absolutely.
It would be perfect for it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Just to bring in the Quentin Tarantino movies or the little Miramax movies.
Yeah, that just goes to show you how powerful Disney is. Like when The Hateful Eight came out, he was supposed to premiere at the Cinerama Dome in L.A., which it was shot on 70 millimeter, which is what the Cinerama Dome was built for. Nope, they bumped him out of it and put Star Wars in it. And he's like, but I made it for this building.
Yeah.
And it just didn't matter. You know? Because,
And he's one of the biggest directors of history.
He's so big, he got movie theaters to retrofit 70 millimeter projectors.
To show it.
And he still couldn't do anything about it.
Our sponsor, Golden Ticket, and I don't know if they like me to share their dirty laundry or not, but I'm going to because it's relevant to what we're talking about.
Right.
But John Wick 3, they had already pre-sold tickets for John Wick 3. And Disney said, oh no, you're going to run Avengers one more week or we won't give you any more Disney movies.
And they can't not do it.
And guess what they did? They had to refund all of John Wick's, all the pre-buys. Yep. Tell me I couldn't go see it, which is completely unacceptable. And then, you're basically done.
You missed out on all that sweet murder.
Yep, all that sweet murder.
So much murder.
That luscious, sweet, delicious
murder. The scene at the beginning of kind of in the middle of Good, the Bad, the Ugly, where Eli Wallach puts the pistols together from the different. He does that in a museum, puts a gun together, and then loads it. And a guy comes in, and he just fans the hammer and just shoots the guy in the head and just drops the gun and runs away. It's a complete 5-minute homage to Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
That's awesome.
And it has, and the movie could be without it. But I would just sit and I smiled so big when I watched it.
Well, it's not for everybody, but somebody who knows it's
right. Yeah.
Hell yes.
But that is complete and utter bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I mentioned, we were talking about Frank Vazetta a few weeks ago. We were talking about how he said back in the 70s when Wizards came out, they re-released Fantasia just to screw him over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this isn't a new thing.
No, Disney's a bunch of fucking dicks.
Yeah.
And they always have been.
Exactly.
It's not new.
Yeah.
I've always heard that.
Well, they got to buy a new vault door for Walt's Nazi memorabilia collection. They got to keep hidden.
Wow, and let's hate on some Disney. Yeah. What, you got us a movie? I'm sure it's not a Disney movie.
It is not.
It better not be.
No, it isn't. It was actually George Harrison distributed it. He had George from the Beatles had a film distribution company back in the 80s called Handmade Films.
Okay.
And he basically just distributed low-budget British movies. And it's called Venom. It's from 1981, and it's a heist, not a heist movie, a siege movie. A group of criminals take this heir to this $1 million fortune hostage in his house in London, and the cops are called. But his grandfather, played by Sterling Hayden, is this he was a big game hunter, and he collects a lot of animals, a lot of live animals. And the snake he was supposed to get, the airport accidentally switches the snake crates, and he sent a black mamba instead of a harmless African snake. which is what he was supposed to be delivering. And during the course of this hostage situation, the Black Mamba gets loose. So it's a group of criminals who can't leave a house, and they're trapped in it with one of the probably top 3 deadliest snakes in the world.
Yeah.
And the criminals are Klaus Kinski and Oliver Reed. So the snake is the 3rd scariest thing in the... And apparently it was just nightmarish to make. Like, the original director said Toby Hooper left because he had a nervous breakdown just for dealing with these 2 people.
Yeah.
And, but it's a really cool movie. Like, it's very, like, simple. It's just one location.
Yeah.
And just, cool little movie. Nobody's ever seen. It's one of those you never hear people talk about. And, but yeah, if you can get the DVD, the commentary by the director is very good. Where he's just like, that Klaus Kinski was a dick. Oliver Reed drunk constantly. And they fought all the time. And what was Klaus Kinski going to do? Like, beat up Oliver Reed?
No.
He would have smashed him into a little German ball, And, but yeah, super cool movie. Yeah. Just, little horror, I guess horror crime thriller.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one that I saw when I was really, really young, under the age of 15.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it since, but you were talking about doing this little write-up about it, and I was like, oh, shit, yeah. Hell yeah, I know that movie.
Yeah.
But I haven't thought about it or seen anything about it.
It was one of those movies you used to catch at like 3 a.m.
Right.
On TV.
The write-up is on the website. Go see it.
Yep.
Videostoretales.com.
Yeah.
Venom.
Yep.
Well, Seth Gecko beat Derek Vineyard.
I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't either. 58% to 42% in a street fight.
Now, in his defense, he was a much more successful criminal. He actually escaped prison, and he killed a bunch of Aztec vampires.
This is true. This is true.
Very true. Godzilla, what surprised me, and I guess just because Godzilla breathes fire, Kong didn't stand a chance.
Yeah. I know. I voted for Seth mainly because I try to vote for the underdog.
I always vote,
unless it's like one I really give a shit about.
Right.
But I was like, surely everybody's gonna pick Ed Norton, so I just clicked Seth Gecko, and I went back the next day and it was like 65 to 40. I'm like, oh man.
Weird.
Yeah.
Very weird. Well, this week we're going to go back to Masters of the Universe. And we're going to go back to doing a little turny since we had such a good time with the Running Man. Masters of the Universe, the movie, actually lacked all the really great bad guys and good guys like Merman and Beastman and Trapjaw and Ramman and Buzz Off and Whiplash.
Beastman's in the movie.
Beastman, you're right. Yeah. Beastman is in the movie. And Man of Arms is in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have us a little tournament up there on the site to see who is really the coolest Masters of the Universe besides He-Man and Skeletor. So it'll be up there. We're going to have Beastman going up against Merman. And
the skunk guy, clearly. No. Apparently that thing still stinks. I saw some YouTube video where a guy pulled one out of like his old toy box. He's like, this thing still reeks.
That's awesome. Well, there you go. So we'll be putting those up. There'll be a few of them going up. We'll do kind of a tournament to the next couple of weeks to get us through the monster block.
What was the battering ram guy? The helmet.
Ram Man.
Ram Man was the shit.
And you push him down, and he pow.
Yeah.
Love Ram Man. I love Trapjaw. I thought
Trapjaw had a cool design.
Yeah.
I liked his design the best.
Nobody touched Skeletor though.
Oh no.
That still is one of the coolest.
There's a Netflix series called The Toys That Made Us. It's a documentary series. Just
yes.
The 80s. And the Master of the Universe episode is great. It is they're like 45 minutes each. They're very funny. They do like these sort of tongue-in-cheek reenactments. And the Master of the Universe episode is very good.
I have the first series. I had the first season 1 of this series.
Nice.
Yeah. I watched every one of those.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
And I had, I don't want to say I had all of the characters because I didn't.
No, I had a bunch though.
But I had a bunch. I probably had 10 of them.
I had
Castle Grayskull.
Oh, yeah.
I had that little tiger fucking thing that he would ride.
My favorite one had the battle damage He-Man. Had the chest plate that when you push it flipped.
Yep.
Oh, that was my shit.
Yeah. Those are awesome.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't have any events this week. The summer is coming and going. The 4th of July just happened, and
it's hot.
It's
hot.
Yeah.
It's hot, or it's raining.
Yeah, that's right.
Or it's both.
Yeah.
That's right. Golden Ticket Cinema right now this week. It's Toy Story 4 and Spider-Man. You can see them as late as 10 o'clock. And if you go on Tuesdays, remember, it's $5 movies all day long. That's a heck of a deal. Anytime. You go in the mornings or you go in the evening, it doesn't matter. It's $5 movies. And the the concessions are also discounted. I'm not real sure exactly what the price point is now, but I think it's like $5 popcorn and drink as well. So for $10 or less, you can go to the movies. It's a pretty good deal.
You don't see that anymore.
No.
You don't see that anymore.
No.
So long from the tail.
Hold up.
Oh.
What's next?
We've got
one more in our monster block, right?
Yeah. Where are we going to get this movie, guys?
I don't know. I thought you were going to take care of that.
Yeah, like what the fuck, Garrett?
So we've got a movie and we are having a hard time locating it.
Them.
So if anybody out there has one, wants to lend it to us, we'll be happy to borrow it and send it back to you. Having a hard time locating a copy of it to watch. I'm sure we can find it.
I'm sure.
I'll find it.
Yeah.
I'll find it this week. We may have to watch it together, though.
Okay.
All right. I will see what I can do. Been working on it. Anyway, so them, and then we're getting into the Westerns. And we will do, I know we very recently and very quickly, we advertised the Western The Big Kill, which has one of my friends, Clint Hummel, in it. He's actually one of the stars in it. He is actually going to be on the show, and I know we advertised this, but then schedules kind of got weird with me being gone, and we couldn't really get on sync with the West Coast time and when we could do it here, and so...
Yeah. And he's one of the main stars, too. Like, he's not like an extra. Like he's
in it.
He's in it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's in it. He's in it. And he's going to be on our show. And he's going to FaceTime in, and we're going to have him right here. Yep. We're going to do a Facebook Live and have him right here with us in that chair, in the empty chair right over there that used to be presided by Mark. And then,
what was his name? Mark Rose.
Mark Rose.
We keep putting actors in it.
It is the actor's chair.
No, actor. It's the actor's chair. Yeah. It's empty right now, but it won't be empty for the first Western, because we're going to do Facebook Live, and Clint Hummel will be live on our show. So that's it, man. I'm good for this week. You good?
That's it.
So anyway, please drop us a DM if you have the movie Them. We could use it as soon as possible. This week's Tales from the Video Store episode is brought to you by Golden Ticket Cinemas, GTC Cinemas. This week, Spider-Man Far From Home and Toy Story 4, and Table Rock Creative, video for your business.